was great to attend the Wales Centre for Public Policy event on loneliness a few weeks ago, and it was great actually because I was able to kind of learn some new things, but also cement some of my thinking actually.
One of the key kind of reflections and pieces of learning for me was this almost shift or reframing of how we understand loneliness, and the concept that actually we can't really speak of loneliness without trying to understand the need for shared purpose. And so it goes beyond a need for connection or the absence of people, that actually a source of loneliness for people is this absence of having a purpose and sharing that with people around us. And in thinking that, then it becomes really clear how critical community-led action is in terms of tackling loneliness.
Being Director of Services, we're really trying to shift our service model from one of perhaps more traditional sort of dependency type thinking through to one of more asset-based, community-based development, and using people's gifts, skills and experiences, building on their strengths and that of the community around them to really make sustainable change happen.
And perhaps whereas before I would have viewed it as one of many approaches to tackling loneliness, following that event, it feels it's almost a non-negotiable, that it's a fundamental principle in terms of tackling loneliness, that people are leading change or directing things within their own streets and communities.
I think what we need to better understand and going forward is actually how do we connect those people that are most vulnerable, that are most disengaged and not connected to community. What are the techniques and the ways that we can engage those people, and how do we reach them to ensure that they can get involved and they can connect with neighbours and community members, and how, as Councillor Alison Pugh was saying, you know, how do we get rid of the bureaucracy and the layers of bureaucracy to enable stuff to happen? You know, how do we support more grassroots community groups, people coming together to create and respond to community needs directly? How do we support and facilitate that to happen?
You know, if we're serious about community-led action, community-led solutions, then we need to work out how we get comfortable with putting the power into the hands of people in the communities. They are often the people who know where these solutions are going to come from and what works in a particular place.
From my perspective, one of the things that has come through from the projects that we've been delivering is this idea within social care that relationships, connections are almost peripheral, so they're not core to care. And I think there's still some real kind of questions to be answered or to be explored around how we support that shift to put connections central to the services that we are delivering.
We've been talking about loneliness in the sector for quite some time. It's been a hot topic in government, in the sector, and now across perhaps business and the public sphere as well. But what we really need to hone down and focus on is what works. So what works at an intervention level, and how, and let's get some funding behind that. But also how we sort of leverage the wider system. How do we build loneliness into policy making around housing, around transport, around community design? Those are the bits where we're going to have long-lasting, significant impact.